Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Mahabharata character series. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namah Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. We are discussing the life of Bhima. So after Yudhishthir Maharaj, now we are discussing the second Pandava, that is Bhima. And last time we discussed how Bhima, he was so very powerful even as a small child. When he fell from his mother's lap, the stone crushed to pieces. But he was unhurt. And then we saw how when Duryodhan, he fed poison to Bhima to kill him, but on the contrary, by the will and arrangement of the Lord, Bhima became more powerful. And then we discussed that when they were banished, when they were put in the Laksha Graha Varnavarta, somehow by the intervention of Vidura they escaped and Bhima carried all of them. So we'll continue from there. As now Pandavas, Kunti Maharani, they were going in the forest. Bhima was carrying all of them. After running for a long time, they felt very tired and they wanted to take rest. So as they were taking rest, Bhima, he heard a sound, and he saw a beautiful lady standing nearby. Actually, there were two demons, Hidimba and Hidimbi. They were brother sisters. And Hidimba was a man-eating demon. So he smelled human flesh. And he told his sister to go and get those humans. She was also a demoness. So Hidimbi, she went, and when she saw Bhima guarding nearby, she saw the powerful form of Bhima, and she was completely attracted to him. She was shot by Cupid. She was completely overwhelmed by the handsome features and powerful features of Bhima. Immediately she changed her form to a very beautiful lady, and she approached Bhima and she said, "Please enjoy with me. I'll take you to celestial places and we can enjoy there." And she said, "Actually, I cannot live without you. You are so very handsome and powerful and attractive. I have fallen in love with you." So Bhima, he looked at her and said, "How can you expect that just to satisfy my lust, I leave my brothers and mother? They are in danger and they need protection here. I cannot come with you. You leave." So when Bhima, he said that, Hidimbi, he noticed, okay, there are few more people here. So she said, "Don't worry, you wake them all up. I'll take all of you to a safe place. And because my brother is staying nearby, he's a very very terrible demon, and if he comes to know that, he'll come and he'll eat all of you up. Better we depart as soon as possible." She became very favorable to all the Pandavas because she was in love with Bhima. Bhima said, "I can't wake them up. They are very much tired, fatigued, they are resting, so I cannot wake them up. You go, and if you stay here and if you disturb, then I'll punish you also." So back and forth, the conversation was going on. On the other side, Hidimba, he was becoming more and more impatient. He came personally. He came. He thought there's some problem going on. He came, and when he saw his sister in a very beautiful form, he understood. He saw Bhima and then he saw Hidimbi in a beautiful form. He understood everything. He said, "Oh, this woman is coming between me and my food. I will punish her also. I'll destroy her also." So that is how demoniac people are. You know, they are just concerned with their own sense gratification. And all the relationships they are welcome till the time they are supporting their sense gratification. I want to enjoy in this world, and if you can help me, then I'll help you also. But if you come in between, I'll destroy you. For a person with godly qualities, relationships are very sacred, and he takes all the care. He is ready to undergo all the pains and tribulations to serve the beloved, serve the relatives. But the demons, they have no such consideration. Sadly, in the current civilization, relationships, they have become so very superficial and short-lived because they are based on personal ego and pleasure. Till the time you are ready to give me pleasure, I'll stay with you. The feelings of sacrifice and ready to go through pains for the other relatives, it is going down as Kali Yuga is progressing, as the age is progressing, because people are going away from spiritual values. They are just concerned about their material pleasures. How can I satisfy myself, my body, my senses? And that's why the whole civilization is getting so much of away from the godly civilization. Because if people are not keeping God in the center, then they'll keep themselves in their center. They'll keep their ego in the center. And that's what is happening. That's why relationships, they are very, very short-lived now. And that's what we can see here. A demon, Rakshasa, Hidimba, he is telling that I'll kill my own sister because she is coming in between my sense gratification. So Bhagavad Gita also describes the nature of demoniac people. They think that all these are my relatives and they are helping me in my sense gratification. Adhyo abhijanavan asmi koanyosti sadrisho maya. Who is greater than me? I have so many powerful relatives and they'll help me to become the greatest. If the relationships are helping me to become greatest and enjoy, then I'll welcome and I'll take care of these relationships. Otherwise, I don't care about all these people. Bhima, he was a Kshatriya. And Kshatriya means Shatatrayate iti Kshatriya. Anybody who comes and surrenders to a Kshatriya, that is his duty to take care of that person. So he said, you cannot kill this woman. She is afflicted with lust. And I cannot allow you to do any harm to this person, to this lady. And also, you don't disturb my brothers and mother. They are taking rest. You go away. So Hidimba, when he heard this, he laughed. He said, who is this human who is instructing me? Because he didn't know the power of Bhima. He thought instead of running away, he's instructing me. He is such a fool. And he attacked Bhima. And Bhima, first of all, he caught hold of this demon and he dragged him far away so that the sound of the fighting may not disturb the Pandavas and Kunti Maharani who were sleeping nearby. So he dragged him for a long distance and then he started fighting. Fierce fight started. And Hidimba, he was surprised to see the power of Bhima, because he was thinking, oh, he's an ordinary human being. How can, what he will do? But when he saw the power of Bhima, he was completely bewildered, but he continued fighting. And then he started fighting with the fist, and then they started uprooting the trees. So the noise of the trees falling and all these things, they awoke all the Pandavas and Kunti Maharani. They came. Kunti Maharani saw a beautiful lady standing. She asked, "Who are you?" And Hidimbi, she explained everything. And Arjuna, now, because the fight was going on for some time, Arjuna went near Bhima and said, "Look, if you cannot handle him," in a little critical tone, he said, "If you cannot handle him, please tell me. You should have woken me up. I would have destroyed, I would have killed this demon with my arrows in a very short time." Actually, what Arjuna wanted, he was actually inciting Bhima to finish off this demon. Because Arjuna, he knew the power of Bhima, and he was thinking why he is not killing this demon immediately. So therefore, just like Arjuna was, motivating Bhima by some words, we all need somebody to guide us and motivate us in moving ahead in, whatever we are doing. Many times we get stuck up with so many little details and intricacies and complications that we, can't move ahead. We need always a guide. A selfless guide is very much needed to move ahead, to advance, and more so in spiritual life. That is the beginning of spiritual life, when we go and approach a saintly personality, surrender to him and inquire from him. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is telling that when you approach a spiritual teacher, you should have three qualities: humble, you should be inquisitive, and you should serve. So humility, inquisitiveness, and service. These are the three qualities of a person who is approaching a saintly personality. And when sometimes instructions they fall on deaf ears, then that person needs to be shaken up by strong words. And that's what Arjuna is trying to do with Bhima. He's speaking some critical words so that Bhima may understand and do everything immediately. In spiritual life also, many times people, they keep coming, but they never take to the instructions seriously. Strong words and testing circumstances, they sometimes force one to become serious. Of course, we have to be really careful and sensitive in using words, in speaking right words. Otherwise, the words may not bring them close. They may, just send them more far away from spiritual life. So that's why it is said that anudvega karam vakyam satyam priya hitam chayat. So the words should be truth and they should not agitate others. So therefore, Bhima, when he heard, he said, "You just be a spectator, I'll finish him off." So he understood, okay, I have to do it, kill this demon immediately. And then he caught hold of the demon and he whirled him around 100 times. And forcefully he smashed him on the ground. He pounced on that demon, on his chest, and he started beating him and killed him. And then Pandavas, they left that place. Hidimbi, she kept following Pandavas. Bhima, he scolded her. He said, "I know the demons, they have the tendency to take revenge. Now you go away, don't follow us, otherwise I'll punish you." So Hidimbi, she said, "I won't be able to live without you." She told Kunti, she approached Kunti Maharani and she said, "You are a woman. You understand the suffering of a woman who is inflicted by desires. Please help, please do something." And she said, "My request is not against dharma. I want to marry Bhima and I want to serve him." So it is very interesting that even in the earlier times, demons also had the knowledge of dharma. Many times they use that knowledge for wrong purposes, but still they had the knowledge of dharma. They knew that this is good, this is bad, but they chose to do wrong things. That's what happens many times. People know this is good, this is bad, but they choose to do the wrong thing. They choose to do something sinful. It is all coming by their previous samskars. Whatever samskar, whatever psychophysical nature one has acquired, it impels a person to choose a good thing or a bad thing, to choose a virtue or a vice. So, therefore, we see in the current times, even so called scholars, they don't know dharma. And so many bogus philosophies keep coming up in the name of religion. So many bogus philosophies and manipulations. That's why Srila Prabhupada, when he went to America and he was asked that, can you suggest any edition of Bhagavad Gita which I can read? Srila Prabhupada, he writes that I could not suggest one. Because in all the commentaries, the writer has given some personal interpretation which is not in line with the Bhagavad Gita. So therefore, it is so very easy to be misled in current times by word jugglery. And in India now, there are so many sadhus and swamis in the name of spirituality. They are doing all the word jugglery. Such fanciful words, eloquent language, but no substance. Srila Prabhupada, he would tell that I may not be perfect in presenting the philosophy in terms of grammar and English. My English may not be good, but because the words, they are spiritual and they carry the potency, those who are intelligent, they'll take to it. So there is a verse which comes in Bhagavatam, very beautiful verse, which tells Tadvaga visargo janataga viplavo yasmin prati shlokam abaddhavatyapi नामानि अनन्तस्य शोङ्कितानि यत् शृण्वन्ति गायन्ति गृह्णन्ति साधवः. So even if literature is imperfectly composed in terms of grammar, but if the substance is proper, any intelligent person will take to it. So dharma should be understood only from right bona fide persons. That is called parampara. And even demons like Hidimbi, she knew dharma. And because she was attracted to Bhima, she started developing some good qualities also. And she spoke, I want to serve him. So Yudhishthir, when he heard such wonderful words of wisdom from this lady, he was impressed. Because Yudhishthir, by nature, he gets attracted by anything dharmic. So Yudhishthir got attracted. And he went and consoled Kunti Maharani and he talked to Bhima and agreed Bhima also. And then it was decided that they will get married. Bhima, he said, okay, if you like, I'll get married to you, but I'll stay with you only till the time you don't get a child. Once you get a child, I will, go back to in the service of my brothers, and then you can live with your son. So Hidimbi, she agreed. She took all of them to a very beautiful place called Shalavahan, and she created beautiful cottage. And Bhima and Hidimbi, they were staying and enjoying there, and all the other Pandavas, they were also staying nearby. After 7 months of staying there, Hidimbi gave birth to a very, very powerful child, Ghatotkach. And this Ghatotkach played a very crucial role in the Mahabharata war. And within a short time, he grew up because he was born of a demon. He grew up very fast. And although he was born of a demon, but he had lots of virtuous qualities. He would like to serve Pandavas. He had great service attitude towards Pandavas. This is very interesting, Although Ghatotkach was born from a demon, Hidimbi, she was a demoness. But because she was serving the devotees, serving Bhima, and Bhima was himself a great devotee, the consciousness of the child was transformed. So the mother and father, they play a very crucial role in the consciousness of a child, and it all starts from conception. And when the child is in the womb, especially mother plays a very important role in molding the consciousness of a child while in the womb and while he's a small boy, a small girl. So therefore this Ghatotkach, he was very devoted to all these Pandavas. And Hidimbi, she was serving Bhima very nicely. And then after some time, Ghatotkach, he was now a grown-up person. He departed for the north. And he said, if you need me anytime, you just think about me. Just remember me and I'll be there in your service. Because he was a demon, he had lots of powers also. And then he left. And Hidimbi, she was staying alone now. Bhima departed along with the Pandavas. And when Vyasdev came, Vyasdev, he told and gave all the instructions, wonderful instructions to Pandavas on dharma, and he told them to go to Ekachakra. And all the Pandavas and Kunti Maharani, they went to Ekachakra, and we know the story of how Bhima, he killed Bakasur. So Kunti and all the Pandavas, they were staying in the home of a Brahmana, and one day Kunti heard Brahmana crying and all the family crying. She came to know about the whole thing. She told Bhima, you kill Bakasur. So Bakasur, he was a very, very powerful demon. And every day he would come and eat somebody. So the villagers, they had decided, okay, at every particular interval, they will send a cart full of food, and along with that, the demon can eat the person who brings the food also. So Kunti Maharani said, don't worry, my son will go and he will do the needful. He will kill the demon. Although the Brahmana hesitated, but still, Kunti Maharani, she, insisted, and then he agreed. So Bhima, he was carrying this huge cart load of food. And Bhima is a voracious eater. He's called Vrikodara. Vrikodara means a person who has a voracious appetite. It is said that when Pandavas, they were in exile. So all these Pandavas, they would go and beg, and whatever they would collect, they would bring to Kunti Maharani, and then Kunti Maharani should make two parts and two halves. And one half, it would be given to Bhima, and in the other half, all the four brothers and Kunti Maharani, they would eat. But still Bhima was not satisfied. His hunger was not, satisfied. So now this day, first time he was getting such a huge quantity of food, he ate everything. So we should understand, Bhima, he was a voracious eater, but he was not a lazy person, who would eat and go to sleep. He was a person who would perform Herculean tasks also. So therefore, it is very, very important, not to judge somebody or make fun of someone by seeing there some traits, particular traits. Some people, they have some particular ways of doing things, or they have some particular bodily features which look funny, and many times people make fun of them. But we should understand, everybody has a particular nature, particular physiological condition, and we should not make fun of them because of these situations, these circumstances, and these features. Especially when it comes to practice of spiritual life. And if that person becomes a devotee, then it is very, very dangerous to make fun of a devotee because of some external features based on the family. Or somebody, he's coming from a high class family, he's a lower class person, he's a poor person, based on status, based on bodily features, based on caste. Devotee should never be seen from external bodily point of view or social status point of view. They are all externals. If somebody offends a devotee, offends a spiritual person because of some bodily features, it is a great offense. And that offense may destroy our inclination to practice spiritual life. So therefore, it is very, very important to understand that anybody who takes to spiritual life, he is a very, very great personality. Whoever he may be in his past life, from whatever background he is coming, he should be given all the respects. So although Bhima was a voracious eater, but still he was doing Herculean tasks. So he came right in front of the den of Bakasur and he shouted. And Bakasur came and he saw that this human has eaten all his food. He became very furious, angry. He came and he hit Bhima on his back. So Bhima still was eating. So when Bakasur came and hit, nothing happened to Bhima. He just kept eating peacefully as if nothing happened. In this way, Bakasur hit him thrice. Still, Bhima didn't budge. Peacefully, he was eating as if nothing happened. After he completed the whole meal, he washed his hand and he turned to this demon. And then a great fight ensued. Bakasur, he uprooted a tree and he threw at Bhima, and Bhima just, caught hold of that tree and threw it away, and both of them started fighting with fists. More and more trees were getting uprooted, and Bhima was, just deflecting them all away. After fighting for a long time, eventually Bhima started hitting him with his own head again and again. And ultimately, in this way, he killed Bakasur. We can just imagine the power of Bhima. By his own head, he was hitting this demon, and he killed that demon. Bakasur screamed and died. When Bakasur died with such a great scream, all the relatives of Bakasur were also staying nearby. They all came running. And when they saw the dead body of Bakasur, they became fearful of Bhima. Bhima said, "Look, you don't have to fear me if you don't trouble innocent people. I'll not kill you. You go and stay in the forest. Don't trouble innocent people." So they realized and they fled from that place. So in this way, Bhima, he continued serving the citizens there. And even after, it is said that after Yudhishthir Maharaj established the kingdom, they won the Kurukshetra war. Bhima was the one who was taking care of establishing a Krishna conscious society, a Krishna conscious kingdom. He is generally known as a person who is very, very powerful bodily. From the bodily point of view, he was very, very powerful, but devotionally also he was a very, very great devotee. So he made sure that the Krishna consciousness, devotion, is taken up by the citizens properly. He would take care of all the citizens' needs and he would provide everything so that the citizens are happy and they are taking to Krishna consciousness properly. And then after this, when the Pandavas, they went to attend the Swayamvar of Draupadi, Bhima was there with Arjuna, and all the Pandavas were there. And when Arjuna, he won the hand of Draupadi, all the kings, they started attacking, and Arjuna and Bhima, with the help of Bhima, Arjuna killed and defeated all the kings. And later, when the Yudhishthir Maharaj, all the Pandavas, they came back, and Yudhishthir was given this place called Khandava-prasth, which was transformed into Indraprasth by the intervention of Krishna. Krishna called Vishwakarma, and he transformed the entire barren land into a beautiful city. That's the beauty of Krishna. Krishna never likes his devotees to stay in poverty-stricken situations and suffer. Many times people think if we become devotees of Krishna, we'll become poor and poverty-stricken. If Krishna thinks that this person will be better situated as a devotee in a poor situation, he will keep that devotee in that situation. But if we see that, okay, this person, he has the mentality of serving me, he's not a having a possessive mentality, he'll give all the wealth. So wealth is not a problem, the mentality matters. That's why Kunti Maharani, in her prayers, she is praying to Krishna. Namo akinchana vittaya nivritta gunavrittaye. She's telling Namo akinchana vittaya. Oh my Lord, you are the property of those who are akinchan. Akinchan means poor. Poor means not from the external point of view. They don't have a possessive mentality. They may be billionaires and kings, but they understand that everything is for the service of Krishna. So Krishna, he provided everything for the Pandavas. He called Vishwakarma and he made a beautiful city of Indraprastha. And when Yudhishthir Maharaj, he wanted to do Rajasuya Yagya, they were thinking how to defeat all the kings, and the most powerful was Jarasandha. And the Bhima, he was the one who played a very, very crucial role in removing this greatest obstacle. So Jarasandha, he wanted to do a very huge sacrifice, and that's for that he was, arresting all the kings, he was defeating kings. He had a huge army, and the Pandavas, they thought to fight Jarasandha in a war, it will not be a very beneficial thing because so much killing will be there. So Krishna, he came up with a plan, because when Yudhishthir Maharaj sent an invitation to Krishna to come for Rajasuya Yagya, all the kings who were imprisoned by Jarasandha, they also secretly sent a person to plead on their behalf. So Krishna, he was thinking how to satisfy Yudhishthir Maharaj also and how to help these kings also. So he came up with a plan to fight, first of all, defeat Jarasandha, because if Jarasandha is defeated, then Yudhishthir Maharaj will be able to do Rajasuya Yagya also, and these kings also will be freed. So then they thought, okay, if we'll attack Jarasandha, it will not be beneficial. So Krishna, he decided to challenge Jarasandha in one-to-one combat. That is called Dvandva Yuddha. So Krishna, Yudhishthir Maharaj and Bhima, three of them, they dressed as mendicants, Brahmanas, and they went to the kingdom of Jarasandha. And Jarasandha, he was staying in this capital called Giri Vraja. That was the name of his capital. And in that capital, he had, on a high peak, he had kept a drum. And if any enemy would attack, he would go and beat this drum very, very forcefully. That drum was made from the skin of a demon. It was the emblem of his power. And the sound of the drum was very, very fierce. All the enemies, they would become fearful just by hearing the sound of that drum. So Bhima, he entered along with Krishna and Yudhishthir Maharaj, and he destroyed that peak, destroyed that mountain peak, and destroyed that drum also. But because they were in the dress of a renunciant, a Brahmana, nobody did anything to them. That is how we see that these demoniac people, although they are completely against Krishna, but still they have lots of respects for Brahmanas. Why? We'll discuss in some time. So now, as they entered this city, they destroyed the mountain. Bhima destroyed the drum. Jarasandha was informed, oh, some people have come, they are looking dressed as Brahmanas and they are destroying everything. Jarasandha came and actually they went right up to the place, the palace of Jarasandha. And Jarasandha, he said, look, I have not done anything wrong against any of you. Why you are doing all these things? And just by looking at Krishna, Yudhishthir and Bhima, he could understand that they are not Brahmanas. But they are dressed as Brahmanas, so that's why he gave all the respect to these three personalities. Because he was a worshipper of Brahmanas. He was completely anti-devotional, but he was worshipper of Brahmanas. Why? Because he knew that by serving Brahmanas, one becomes powerful. That's how we have to understand that these demoniac people, they are ready to do anything if it serves their purpose. They are ready to worship anyone, they are ready to serve anyone if it serves their purpose. This mentality is given by, described in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna tells, Yajante nama yajyaiste dambhena avidhi purvakam. These people, demoniac people, they even do sacrifices. Why? Nama yajyaste. They do sacrifices so that they'll become famous. Instead of doing Nam Yagya, they do Yagya for Nam. Mera Naam hoga. I'll become famous. That's the mentality of people of, those who are demoniac people. So that's why he was serving Brahmanas. He didn't do anything. And he was planning, he was so very cruel. Jarasandha was so very cruel and ruthless that he had captured and arrested hundreds of kings and he was planning to do a sacrifice for Karl Bhairav. He was planning to, sacrifice all these kings like animals. So therefore he was showing such respect for Brahminical culture, but it was just a show. It was a means to get power. Many times, people, they take to spiritual life, they accept a guru just because it gives a social status. Oh, I also have a guru, I am also spiritual. In current times, dikhawa, it is all show. I am spiritual. People will respect a person who is spiritual. So therefore, they want to show themselves as spiritual, although they may be doing all wrong things in private. But they show themselves to be spiritual. They'll donate some money also. They will, come to temple, but for show. Somebody should come and click pictures. My name should be written. I have given so much donation. Yajante nama yajyaiste. All for externals. I'll become famous. I'll be recognized by the people as a very spiritual person. I'll get respect. Krishna is not pleased by all the externals. He is interested in our intentions. He sees the heart and reciprocates accordingly. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tams tathaiva bhajamyaham. In whatever circumstance and with whatever intentions people approach Krishna, Krishna reciprocates accordingly. So therefore, Jarasandha was showing all respect to all these Brahmanas because he knew that by serving Brahmanas, I'll become more powerful. I'll get blessings and I'll become more powerful. So he came and met Krishna, Krishna, Yudhishthir and Bhima. Krishna told that, look, these two Brahmanas, they have taken a vow of silence. They speak only at night. So Jarasandha came at night. He made them comfortable. He gave them nice place to stay. He provided all the food and everything. He came in the middle of the night and he asked, who are you? why you have come in the form of a Brahmana, I can understand by seeing your bodily features that you are not Brahmanas. But because you are dressed as Brahmanas, I'll give you all respect. And I came to know that you have destroyed my peak, you have destroyed my drum. What do you want? So he said, I'll give you charity because you have come as a Brahmana, but tell me who you are. I know you are not Brahmanas. Krishna, I said, yes, we are not Brahmanas, and revealed their identity. And when Jarasandha heard that, oh, he's Krishna, he started laughing. Oh, Krishna, my old enemy. You ran away from the battle and now you have come in this disguise. And you are asking for something. What do you want? Because you have come as Brahmanas, you must have come for some charity, right? What do you want? Krishna said, we don't want any ordinary charity. We want combat. We want a charity of Dvandva Yuddha, single combat. So Jarasandha laughed. He was so very proud of his power and so very, blinded by his power that he didn't realize that who Krishna was. He agreed. He said, but Krishna, you ran away from the battle. You are not suitable to fight with me. And this Yudhishthir, he is so very weak and thin. He is also not suitable. It will not according to my prestige to fight with both of you. But this Bhima, he looks powerful. I'll fight with him. And then he said, okay, tonight you take rest. Tomorrow we will fight. And he provided for all the hospitality. This is very interesting. In earlier days, even demoniac people, they knew, they had all the knowledge of the scriptures, and they knew the importance of giving good hospitality. Because it is said that if you don't take care of your guests properly, there is a hell which is waiting for us. So even though he was a demon, Jarasandha knew that, okay, this person, these people, they are my guests. So I should give them all the good reception. It is unimaginable in today's age. How can somebody give a good reception to an enemy? But that's what Vedic culture was. If a guest comes, anybody comes as guest, there was a whole refined science and thought process. If an enemy also comes as guest, he should be given such a wonderful reception that he thinks, if this person is so very nice, I should forget my enmity. I should make friends with him. That was the culture. But in today's age, it is all these sentiments and intentions are gone. Why we are doing what we are doing, that is gone. People, they are doing just superficial rituals, not understanding the intentions behind those rituals. And that's why the younger generation, they are not interested at all in all these spiritual things, because nobody tells them the why I should do this. And our Vedic culture is a well refined Vedic culture. So Jarasandha, he gave all the respects, all the hospitality, and next morning all of them came, and Jarasandha had made all the arrangements for mace fighting. So Bhima and Jarasandha, they started fighting with maces, and all the citizens came to witness this. It was not an ordinary event, because everybody understood that Bhima is also very, very powerful personality. So they started fighting, and then the maces, they break, and then they started fighting with fists, hitting each other. It was such a fierce fight. From morning to evening they were fighting, but nobody could get an upper hand over other. Evening came, again the fighting stopped. Again Jarasandha invited Bhima, Krishna and Yudhishthir Maharaj. to be their guest and gave them all hospitality again. In this way, the fight went on for 27 days. Every day from morning to evening, they were fighting, but nobody could, defeat other. So Bhima, he started becoming apprehensive. He went to Krishna. He said, "Oh Krishna, I don't think I'll be able to defeat Jarasandh. He looks undefeatable. Please tell me something. How can I defeat him?" Krishna is a knower of everything. He is omniscient. He told the history of Jarasandh. He said that there was a king named Brihadratha, and this king, he wanted a son. So he performed a sacrifice, and the Yajna Purush appeared and he gave a fruit. And he told that you should give this fruit to your eldest queen, senior queen, and she'll beget a child. So this king Brihadratha, because now he was about to get a son after such a long wait, he became greedy. He cut that fruit into two halves and he fed that two halves to the two queens because he was thinking, I'll get two sons. But both the queens became pregnant, and when they delivered, the king was shocked because they delivered exactly half of the body. The two halves were delivered by the two queens. The king became so very, frustrated and sad. What to do with this child? So he threw that two halves in the forest. This is very, very important to understand that when somebody becomes greedy, the greed actually doesn't allow to, take the best out of us. One becomes weak when one becomes greedy. Greed for things of the world degrades one's consciousness. And that's what we can see in this king's case. So when a person becomes greedy, he can never be happy because happiness comes when one is satisfied. There's a story somebody was telling that one time a man found a magic cup and he was told that if he wept into that cup, his tears would transform into pearls. So now this man, he was very happy. Although he was a poor, but he was a very happy man. He was satisfied and contented. So he didn't know, because he was happy, he was not crying. Rarely he shed tears. But now when he came to know, he started finding ways how to cry. That is the sad situation of the world, Although earlier people were satisfied with simple things, staying in simple settings, but they found, okay, this modern civilization, all the modern industries and the modern, paraphernalia of civilization, modern civilization will make me happy, will make me get more and more money. As a result of that, they are now learning to cry, putting so much of endeavor. That's why Srila Prabhupada, he would tell that modern factories, they are hell. So therefore, it is very, very important to understand this nature of greed. If we want to be greedy, whatever propensities we have, we can use it in Krishna's service. If somebody thinks I'm greedy, okay, you should be greedy for becoming more and more spiritual. That is the price we have to pay to become spiritual. Greed. We have to be greedy to advance in spiritual life. We have to be greedy to have some realizations and experiences about spiritual life. Krishna bhakti rasa bhavitamati kriyatam yadi kutopi labhyate tatra laulyam api mulyam ekalam janma koti sukritir na labhyate. So it is described that if you want to experience that happiness of bhakti, Krishna consciousness, you have to pay a price. Nothing comes free in this world. There is a price tag attached to the spiritual bliss also. If you want that, what is that price? Tatra laulyam api mulyam ekalam. There's only one price we have to pay. We have to be greedy about it. I want it. If that is our consciousness, then we will get the happiness and the bliss of bhakti. So this king, when he saw, okay, the two halves are there, so he threw that those two halves in the forest. There was a demoness. Her name was Jara. She was passing by. She found these two halves. They were alive. Playfully, she joined the two halves, and the child came back to life. The child, joined and became proper child. Because the Jara, she did the Sandhi. Sandhi means to combine. So Krishna, he told Bhima that this Jarasandh is weak in the middle because he is joined there. So tomorrow morning, you just tear him apart. So next day morning, Bhima, he was fighting, and as Krishna had told him, he threw Jarasandh on the ground, tore him apart in two. Jarasandh, he screamed and fell dead. And then Krishna released all the kings, and he went to the son of Jarasandh, and he told, look, if you are ready to give tributes to Yudhishthir Maharaj, then we will not harm you. You can be the king. That's how Krishna is. Krishna is not like the ruler of today's age who want to control the civilizations, control the countries. Krishna is interested in maintaining spiritual values. Anybody, if he is ready to follow the spiritual principles, Krishna is ready to give them all the liberty to rule the kingdom. He's not interested in changing the socio-cultural values. He's not telling, oh, everybody should behave like the people of Hastinapur. No, everybody has a different culture, and the culture has to be maintained. And Sahadeva, he agreed, and he was made the king. And then all the kings, they were released. They came and offered their heartfelt prayers to Krishna. And in this way, Bhima, he removed the greatest obstacle in Yudhishthir Maharaj's Rajasuya Yajna. And then Rajasuya Yajna was performed, and then rest things we'll discuss next time. We'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. That's a wonderful class as usual. Prabhuji, I have one question. I don't know if it's valid, but I'll still ask. Prabhuji, you said like we have a lifestyle change from the earlier times to now. So the greed has increased and our other things have increased. But Prabhuji, Bhagavad Gita talks about similar things, this consciousness and these problems. That time also, Prabhuji is answering these things, so which are valid now. We refer to the Bhagavad Gita to answer so many of our questions. So, what has been the difference between simpler life and now in the consciousness, in the change of the consciousness?
Okay.
I
Yeah.
don't know if I put myself properly, Prabhuji. I don't know.
So what I understood is, so how much consciousness has transformed from the past ages and now, what is the change and what is the reason? I think that's what you have asked.
So what I mean to say, Prabhuji, these same consciousness was there earlier also, Prabhuji, because the Bhagavad Gita talks about it.
Oh, okay.
So what I'm asking is there any change from then and now except for the lifestyle change?
Correct,
Is
correct.
there a change in the consciousness?
Okay, understood.
Yes. Yes.
So
Sorry.
basically, all these vices and the virtues, the good qualities and the bad qualities, they are always there. They are created since the beginning of the creation. These two qualities are there existing. The only thing is the proportion has increased. The proportion of the vices and the bad qualities, they have increased. You know. So Bhagavad Gita and all the scriptures, they tell about all these things because these things are there always existing. But it is said that, one devotee was saying, in Satya Yuga, divine and demoniac people, they were staying in different planets. In uh, Treta Yuga, they were staying in different countries. In Dwapar Yuga, they were staying in same family. Just like in Treta Yuga, Ravan was there and Lord Ram was there, staying in different countries. In Dwapar Yuga, Pandavas and Yudhishthira Maharaj, same family. But in Kali Yuga, the divine and demoniac personalities are there in the same person. We have a good side also, we have a bad side also. As they say, good dog and bad dog. You know. So as the age progresses, the influence of the bad qualities, the demoniac qualities increase. Because that's how the age is. The time now is more in the mode of passion and ignorance. You know. So therefore, when Bhagavad Gita is describing all these things, it is to remind us and warn us that these qualities will always be there. So we have to move from divine to demoniac. And it is a constant struggle. Every moment struggle to choose the right thing over a wrong thing. How many times, people, they tell that we know that this is right, this is wrong, but still we are not able to choose the right option. We are not able to choose the good thing because we have chosen a wrong option many times in the past, and it has become our nature. That's why these tendencies have become more powerful, the demoniac and the lower base tendencies. So all the tendencies are always there, as Bhagavad Gita is mentioning. And on top of that, now in current civilization, the lifestyle is such that even if somebody wants to live a very, very simple life, he is forced to live in a sinful way. Yesterday only I was talking to one of the devotees. He is in a big, government position, and he was telling that, Prabhuji, if you don't take bribe and if you don't, do corruption, people will not allow you to live properly and happily and peacefully. And that's why you're saying, I did so many things in my place. He was like a officer in the high rank in the government. He said, I was doing so many good things, but because the politicians, they were not happy because I didn't agree to some of their plans. That's because, so now what they have done, they have forced me to change my place, and I've been transferred. So that's how the current atmosphere is. Even if you want to live happily and following the principles, you'll be forced to live in a sinful way. That's why it is very much needed to be in touch with saintly people, with devotees, so that we can always align our thought process. Because by nature, it is like, if you are not holding on the steering wheel of the car, by default it will go on the sides and hit somewhere. So constantly we have to hold the devotees. As they say, ज्ञानावलंबका केचित केचित कर्मावलंबका वयम tu haridasanam padatranavalambaka. Some people depend on their intelligence, some people depend on their power, but spiritualists, they depend on the other devotees, and that is the only way we can, you know, go against the waves of material nature. The whole river is going one way, we have to just go another way. It is going downstream, we have to go upstream, and for that our personal strength may not be sufficient, we need the help of the devotees. So that's how we have to understand these things. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Looking forward to the next class.
Hare Krishna. So we'll stop here, or any other questions?
Any? Does anybody have any questions? I can unmute them.
Okay, so we'll stop here.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you very
much.
much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.